Hello and welcome to the Uneducated PT Podcast with me, your host, Carl O'Rourke. The goal of this podcast is to bring on interesting and knowledgeable people from all walks of life, learn a little something from each conversation, and for you, the listener, to learn something from each episode. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, press the box below, show some support, and I'll see you on the next episode. Right, we're going to go through a couple of things that I want to ask you. I suppose the most obvious one is talking about what you've achieved over the last couple of months. Can you just tell the listeners about what's been going on?
Yeah, so I ran in the local elections in Bray East, and I got in on my first time running, and I got in with True Independent Ireland. That's the party I'm with.
Yeah.
And it's been a roller coaster so far. Like, I was approached last year to run, and then I would kind of put on the long finger, and then a few things lined up for me this year, and then I just jumped into the deep end in March and said, yeah, I might as well go for it.
So this idea was already planted a year back, was it?
Yeah, about a year ago. So I'm involved with St. Peter's Football Club, and we done really well last season, won a quadruple, and local TD John Brady approached me with Sinn Féin, asked me would I run, and I had a couple of meetings with him and Daisy, and it just wasn't for me, and then I said, nah, leave it. But it was planted the seed in the back of my head. Like, I was honoured to be asked, like, I was thrilled, and it's a huge honour to be kind of even considered, because you don't put yourself.
Well, this was going to ask. Were you involved in politics?
I'd never, no politics background at all. Just community based. I've always just been involved with local. So
how come people were coming to you asking you to get involved then?
I don't know. They must have seen potential in me or something. I don't know. Maybe my characteristics tick the right boxes for them or something. I don't know. Or John Brady, who's a TD, so he must mean something. Like, if he's seen something good in me, it must be good. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you do a lot of kind of charity-based work in the town as well, don't you?
Yeah. I'd help out any way possible with anything.
Tell me about that. What have you been even up to since getting elected?
Well, Rob Carey, who ran in Bray West, who didn't get in, he set up a charity up in his gym, up in Block Gym, and it's a great idea, and he's asked me to come on board and a couple of other people like yourself and maybe a couple of great people. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about that? Yeah, so it's Irish name, Cov Hair. Yeah. And it's basically, in a nutshell, if you've got a mental health issue for young people, you text this number, they'll text you back. It's all anonymous. Yeah. And if you need help, whenever, in any aspect, financially, mentally, physically, emotionally, you can meet with the counsellors free of charge. It'll be covered by the charity, and then you can start a 6-week program, whatever suits people. If they don't want to meet in person, they don't have to. They can talk over the phone or text message. Like, they're very flexible like that, and it's Mind who are working on it. It's a local charity. They do phenomenal work, and an awful lot of people don't know about them, but they do great work. We met Caddy before, and we've had one or two meetings where we've got the ball rolling, and there's a lot of good people involved, and I think it's going to be huge in a couple of months, years. So it's hugely positive.
What did you have any hesitations about going up for election? Yeah.
Like, you've self-doubt is a huge one. Like, I think everyone has that from a child, and it creeps into your adulthood, and you kind of, I don't know, you never pat yourself on the back really. You never see yourself through other people's eyes. And then, like with John Brady seeing something in me, I'm like, what's he asking me for? Like, there's so many other good people out there. And then friends of mine were saying, just run independent, you'll get in. And I'd be like, well, I won't I? And then I put on the long finger, as I said, but like, he did plant the seed, and then it grew into, said, you know what, I might as well go for it. Like, I'm young and hungry, and like, I'll be very optimistic, but I've also be very driven. So it's like, I think I have an awful lot of credentials that tick the right boxes in the politic realm. So
can I ask you, what would have been some of the motivations and drivers to go up for election? What are some things that you weren't happy where you wanted to see changed?
Well, when I was thinking about it, I was looking at Bray, and I was just comparing slightly to Greystones. And I'm a big sporting man, so I've always had that in me locker. Basically, I've always wanted football, football is soccer, whatever sport. I've always been into it. Like, I've always liked watching it, seeing what I can bring to people. And then I was like looking at Greystones. They have a running track, a full-size Astro, cricket club, rugby club. Then even for kids, they have like Zoom. And then I'm like, Jesus, Greystones is great, and like, Bray's a bigger population, and we deserve it, because there's so much good in every area for me, because Bray is me. My family heritage has always been Bray, so I've been Bray 100%. My kids are Bray, grandfather, father, you name it. I can't remember how far it goes back, but like, it's just been in our blood to be Bray.
Goes back a while.
Exactly, yeah, definitely, yeah. And then you look at, you see the positives, we produce Katie Taylor, now Dana, and it's like, boxing doesn't get the recognition it deserves, and now rightly or wrongly, it could be gone out of the Olympics, which would be a huge blow for Ireland because it's brought so much goodness to Ireland. And that's just one aspect. And then like even football, like it brings people together, camaraderie, teamwork, and that's huge for people like at a young age. And then like that's like myself and you, like you were involved in football, I was involved in football, and you see like the friendships it brings, and you get to meet people you would never meet before, and that's what it's all about. Sport for me is huge.
Yeah, and I think it ties in well to even that other aspect of focusing on mental health for young people, like giving them the opportunities to be involved in sport because there's facilities there for them.
Exactly, yeah, 100%. Because to me, it needs to be backed. Because you can look at Bray and like there's no running track, so you have to leave Bray to go running. And then say like there's no Astro pitch, you have to go to Enniskerry or Greystones or somewhere else. And I know they're little small things, but they're expensive. But like if Bray had that, like the likes of Armagh Rovers should have it. Because like the amount of young kids they have up there, and then come winter it's a washout, and you might have a bad spell now come into September, and the pitches are closed for weeks, and it's out of people's hand. It's just common sense to close them because they don't want the grass getting destroyed. Whereas if you have an Astro there, you can play on it around any weather.
Well, they're small things, but they make a massive difference.
Definitely.
To the whole community side of things.
Yeah. But like if you even look at boxing, like there's Dana, and she's boxing out of Enniskerry, and the lads I know in the Bray area like do phenomenal work. Mark Buckley.
So why do you think? I don't want to say probably underdeveloped, but Bray is essentially underdeveloped when it comes to the sporting aspect compared to maybe other areas that are close by.
Yeah, definitely, and for whatever reason, it's obviously due to lack of funding. But to me, like that's what, like I'm from Fassaro, Little Bray is hugely underfunded, and then it's like the sports side of it as well. Whereas if the kids, like even in the area, had they have better facilities, they could then go, well, it's only up to town. Whereas like going to Greystones, it's not for everybody. You're a single mother, how are you meant to get your kids there?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Which is wrong.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about the election itself? Like what kind of work had to be done on the lead up to the election for you to get the result and the success that you got? Yeah,
well, registering wise it's straightforward. It's just a couple of forms filled in, €100 and it's done. But the big work is the stuff behind it.
What is that? What's the work behind it that people wouldn't see?
So knocking every single door, we done that in Bray more or less, and then it's Bray East, Bray West. We were in the East. Now I was blessed because the whole area is door to door. It's very compact, very urban. Whereas other people say if you're down, like even if Bray West, you have to go to Kilmechanic, Enniskerry, the top end, Southern Cross of Bray. The Bray area is grand, but then you've so much travelling there. But it's getting the doors in, getting the name out there, telling people about yourself and all. Like it's a bit daunting, you know.
Anyone tell you to feck off?
A few people did, yeah. But like I'd say 99% of them were all genuine, decent people.
Like, because I would imagine if you have to go to door, you need to have thick skin. Probably.
Definitely, yeah. And the good thing with me is like I've no skeletons in the closet, so I haven't let people down in the political realm, so that kind of stands to you. And like I'll just do my best for people. To go back to your question as well, it's like even so you have to get the flyers printed, hand them out, putting up posters, going door to door. You need a group behind you. Only for Mark Nolan and Linda Flanagan, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, there's a lot of help behind the scenes.
Yeah, definitely. Like even Mark, like he done a couple of videos with me, and like they were getting thousands of views. Like and then the response was brilliant. Like and that's the way social media is now. It's a big platform for people to actually be recognised and noticed, whereas the posters on the wall and knocking doors, you might have missed people, or people might not know, but then they'd see you go, oh, Ian's doing well or whatever.
Do you think that a lot of the work that might have been done for you to be elected didn't even happen in terms of the build up to the election? It was probably like the years before that of you building up good relationships and, like you said, not having skeletons in the closet, and you know the community work that you do, and like all of these things probably compounded to give you the name that people want to vote for you and want to have your back.
Yeah, definitely. So like my father worked in Bray his whole life, and so people know the Neary name. Yeah. And my father was a very good man. He worked in the Bray School project for 20 years. Yeah. So he was a caretaker. So like he's a friendly face. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's a quiet man opposite to me, but he was just a really nice man. My mother had a great reputation as well. She's just a worker as well. So like just working class people, and then people see that and they go like, well, he's just a normal person like anyone else. I've got the same issues as anyone else. I'm not coming from wealth. I'm more or less Fassaro born and bred. So it's like, and I'm proud to be. And like that, people see that. It's like, well, he's just a normal fella. He's not coming with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's actually coming to represent people, and that's what I'm here to do.
And in what way do you want to represent them?
I just want to give people a voice, and then just kind of bit of belief, give people a bit of hope. They see me out there, they see me walking around Bray, and they say, he's just a normal fella, so like, he's representing people as they should be. I'm not saying the other candidates or councillors don't, but for me it's the working class people that need to be represented here.
Yeah. Do you think that there is a little bit of a class issue in politics?
I would say so, yeah, definitely. Without going into detail, but I'm sure it's like people are born into wealth, and then an awful lot of people want their kids to be councillors or judges or barristers or solicitors, and it's like, it's out of the equation for people like me. Like there's no chance of that. Like done okay in school, nothing special, but it's like just get a job and pay your taxes and die. But to me, it's like people need to see that there's more to life than that. And I think people see me out here, right now, they'll say he's doing well, and hopefully they can do the same and do well for themselves.
Why did you decide to go independent? And just for anyone who's listening who might not understand politics too much, what's the difference between being independent and going with a party? Yeah,
so I'm technically with a party, Independent Ireland.
Yeah.
So, but the difference with Independent Ireland and the other big parties is there's no whip system. So in a nutshell, the whip system is you kind of have to toe the line, and you can't step out of your box and say, like, they might not agree with something. Just say, for example, the big thing now is the iPass centres. So if someone said they're sticking an iPass centre somewhere and Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael are all for that, there's people in that party that don't want that happening on their doorstep, and that's what's happening all over. Or the people that want this, they don't want just being flooded with non-nationals and not knowing who they are, and it's scary times for people.
So if you're part of
if I was in a party, say one of the big ones, I'm not allowed to speak up and say I'm against that, and that's unfortunate.
And if you do speak against it, is that essentially kind of you pushing yourself out of that party?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. Because you look at, say, slightly change the subject. I know Joe Bean was with Fine Gael back in the day, and he obviously didn't agree. I think, I'm not too certain the background story, just say it was something like abortion.
Joe's independent, isn't he?
Yeah, just say it was the abortion thing or something at the time. I can't remember, it was that long ago.
Yeah.
And it was just say he had his opinion didn't toe the line, he was basically left the party, which is crazy in this day and age.
Is that an issue in politics then, that for you to kind of move up the ladder, so to speak, you have to essentially go with policies that you might not agree with?
Yeah, because when John Brady approached me with Sinn Féin, and I was saying, so just say if I got in and Daisy got in, because he's Bray West, and the two of us got in, and I said, just for argument's sake, I want this and Daisy doesn't want it. I said, well, who wins the argument? And then it's down to the party policy. So it's like, you have to go against my own beliefs, which to me is wrong. Whereas at least as an independent Ireland, I can say what I want, do what I want, basically. Within reason, like, you know. Like
within reason, yeah.
Obviously, like, I'm just a common man like anyone else. I'm not like radical or stupid or whatever.
Yeah, one thing I seen from you in an interview, it was the biggest problem is that it's a party policy rather than a people policy. Yeah,
that's basically the whip system. That's what I was aiming at there. But like, in saying that, like, I've met the councillors now, and they're all good people. Like, and without a shadow of a doubt, like, they're all actually, like, I get on really, really well with Aoife Flynn Kennedy, and I know for a fact for the next 5 years it's going to be great working alongside her. Just picking her out of the 8 of us. But it's like, I know the people, they do mean well, you know what I mean? But like that, if something's coming down the line, they might not be able to vote, or they'll have to go another way against their own beliefs, which to me is wrong. But like, we all just want to represent Bray the best we can and do our best for Bray, which is great. And that's kind of been an eye-opener for me. It's like, yeah, they're actually good people. Like, whereas I was kind of thinking, preempting, like, but they're all taken to me, which is good. Like, so it's great.
So other than the issues of, well, obviously the massive issue of, you know, mental health and trying to get free on-demand mental health services for young people in Bray, and also then in terms of a lack of facilities for the town in terms of sport, is there any other issues that you would like to see improved on or changed, or any other ideas? Yeah,
well, tourism's huge, so without a shadow of a doubt, the Cliff Walk has to come back into operation. I know they rerouted it, but it's technically not the Cliff Walk now. But like, it's out of people's hands, because it's like, it's falling, the sliding rocks on one side and then the coastal erosion on the other side. So it's a big ordeal. Like, obviously, if you could click your fingers, it'd be done. But it's a big operation, and I'd say it's financially going to be expensive. But for me, it has to be done without a shadow of a doubt, because the Cliff Walk, it attracts tourism, it gets people out of their house. Mental health obviously leans back to, everything goes back to that at the end of the day. So people can walk it, go out the Greystones, come back and have a cup of tea, coffee, and just nice leisurely walk. And anyone can do it, like, at all fitness levels, and you can always turn back because it's flat enough. Like, it's whereas up Bray Head and that, it's not for everybody.
No. What have you enjoyed about the job so far?
Getting to meet new people. The inductions have been really good because you're getting to know the people in Wicklow, and then it's the under councillors, and like they're very open, and a lot of them are open-minded as well, and they're actually there to help, which is great. Like to me, I thought like the executives down in the offices in Wicklow, like I thought, they'd be looking down on people, or they're in it for whatever reasons, but they're actually all genuinely good people. Like I was actually at a meeting today with Emer O'Gorman. She's the chief executive, only for half an hour, but like really good person, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, and I wouldn't be saying it otherwise, but they're the people you want to be working with, good people, community people as well.
That's what, well, my next question was going to be about, like, what has surprised you about the job, but I presume that is one of the things.
Yeah, how good they all are, honestly, and even the councillors, like from Blessington, Arklow, they're all just down there, nice people, like, well, so far anyway, but to me, we're going to have our disagreements down the line, but that's all part of politics.
Yeah. What disagreements do you preempt are going to come down?
Well, I know what's coming up straight away because they have the budget now coming up. I think it's in 2 months. I'm not sure when you're releasing this, but then what the big talk there is the local property tax, and that does fund an awful lot of.
What is the local property tax for anyone that doesn't know?
So if you own a home, you pay a property tax, which people think is crazy, but then for the likes of the council, it doesn't get much funding. That's where an awful lot of the money comes from. So it's huge, like, and then especially the way people forget very quick how misfunded everything was after COVID. There was literally no money coming around or money getting put into things, so that has a knock-on effect, and it takes an awful lot of time to regenerate money and get people back up and running, whether it be businesses or tourism, just everything and anything. Like, money is what makes the world go round, unfortunately.
So what's your stance on that? You think have a property tax? Do you have anywhere in particular that money should go towards?
Yeah, well, like if you said to me the local property tax is gonna, and then you showed 6 months later it's gone into this project here, I'd say it should be paid. But I can understand the flip side. Like, an awful lot of people haven't got money. Like, it's tough out there. Like, especially for little businesses. Like, you look at like little coffee shops and all, closing, hotels prices gone through the roof. Like, it's scary times, like, financially, and to me, like, that's the big thing coming up. So the budget, like, so it'll have to be laid out then and there. So I'll see where we're at when it comes around. But personally, because I pay property tax, I'd rather abolish it, but I can understand the positives to it and the negatives. So,
is that something since you've been you're obviously getting more and more into politics? Has some beliefs that you've had have they changed?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, everything's kind of an eye opener now. You're kind of looking at things more so, and then you're realising why such a thing's in place. Like, even say the parking meter in the car park, like, that's huge for the council. Like, you wouldn't realise how much they rely on that and stuff. And then to me, it's like, on one side you need more parking spaces down the beach, but then it's again, like, you're probably taking away from the greenway if you do that. So it's everything has a pros and cons, which is kind of, it's just your head's getting turned in an awful lot of ways, positive and negative, and it's like stuff you never thought of, which is good. But like, I'm still in my infancy here, so like, it's 5 years, so we're only 2 months in, and they broke for August, and we're back at it now September. But I'm enjoying it, you know, like, it is good.
So it's 5 years you're
5 year term, yeah.
And then after that, what happens?
Yeah, you go again. So basically, the elections that just came around, you go again for the locals if you want to, and then that's basically what happens. Then it's dog eat dog to get back in. And
is it only locals? Could you go up onto a national level then? Or?
So coming up in the next 2 months, I'd say they're going to have the generals, and that's basically, that's the TDs, that's the top dogs, all the Leo Varagers, all those people that actually run the country, Simon Harris. And I have been approached with Independent Ireland to run, but for me, it's not for me at the minute, because, as I said, I'm only starting, and I just want to get my feet in the door, and I'm enjoying it, and I don't want to jump. Do
you think working in local communities and local areas, you'll get less abuse than you would probably on a national scale?
I don't know. It's one of them again. It's like, it's the unknown, and I like the unknown. You know what I mean? So it's like, even doing this, it's the unknown to me. Yeah. But I actually like it, because I like challenges, and I always want to better myself. And then if people around me see, go, well, yeah, he's helping us here, and that's what I want to do, give back. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
What are some misconceptions people have about your job? Do people just come up to you now and say, Ian, I want you to do this and this for me? Yeah,
well, like, some of it's basic stuff, whether it be illegal dumping or wanting bins and all, but to me, like, it's all down to getting motions passed and getting stuff through. Like, people come to me looking for speed bumps, and like, I don't even know how to do the motions yet, so I need to learn all this, and then an awful lot of things like that could be approved, but it could not happen for another 2 years. So it's awful lot of like waiting around kind of stuff. So it's it's interesting.
a lot of people want things done like that,
100%,
and,
yeah.
and now that you're in it, you realise that a lot of it takes a lot of time to get any of these things changed.
Yeah, well, like I can understand why, because there's so much on people's plate that they need to get done. Like you're like the whole Wicklow area, and then Bray is going towards the Wicklow County Council. It's not like we just like that. You'd love to just get things sorted, boom, boom. Like the Cliff Walk's a prime example. No one in the world doesn't want that not fixed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's American tourists that come over for that, English tourists that come over, and now it's like it's completely gone now.
Yeah, it's an obvious fix, but then there still needs to be the funds to do it.
Definitely, yeah.
Is there anything? So obviously, since being involved, you know, you can see that, you know, things can't just get done like this, and you know, some things that there's pros and cons to it, and it might change your opinion on. But is there anything that you're adamant that, you know, this is a situation that needs to be resolved, and you know, there's no two ways about it? It's not gonna, you're probably not gonna change your mind on it, that it needs to be resolved.
Well, the mental health thing is huge for me. Sport, then people in their own community feeling safe. That's another big thing. And then just having amenities is really big. Like, and then like even simple things like traffic. Like the traffic's just crazy in Bray, and it's like that needs to be sorted. Like whether it be this week, next year, but like they're just little issues that need to be done straight away. And it's like if the answers were straightforward, it'd be done. Because everyone's, I said, all the councils are in the same boat. They want what's best for Bray, all 8 of us, like, and that goes for any jurisdiction, whether it be Arklow, Greystones, Wicklow. Like it's just a knock-on effect everywhere. So it's about bashing heads, coming together, forgetting about your party politics, and getting stuff done.
What in terms of keeping people safe? What do you think could be improved in terms of the town, in terms of Bray itself?
What's happening at the minute is a national problem is the iPass centres opening everywhere, and an awful lot there is like it's undocumented men, and then it's scary times. Like there's young kids stabbed in Dublin just around Christmas time last year, and only the other week there was a priest stabbed in Galway, and like it's just these people are coming from we don't know where, and it's like undocumented, and it's just it's putting a fear in society, and then the backlash then is people are like aggressive towards this, and then it's like they're picking on asylum seekers then, and it's wrong, and it's like it's become a huge divide now, and it's starting to get like racially motivated, and the people in power are saying like, oh, they're far right, and then it's like have you got
deemed as far right for being independent?
Not yet, no, I don't think so. But like people are gonna have their own opinions on me. I have 3 young kids, and it needs to be safe for my kids and the next generation, and the next, and it's just like it's just. There's so much out there, aggression and hostility, and the people in power are they're adding to it, because the people of so many areas, they're saying no to these what's happening, but yet they're letting it flow in, and they don't know who they are, and then the excuse is they're coming from war-torn countries, but like but everywhere is at war, you know. Everyone, I mean, you're at war in our minds, so it's like I understand the people, they need help, but like to me the local people need to be saved, looked after first, safely and soundly, and knowing that they're going to bed and they're not getting worried or whatever about all this extremism. Yeah,
it's a lot of anxiety induced for people.
Definitely, yeah.
What about obviously mental health is obviously a huge one that we touched on earlier. What would you like to see being done in the town? I know obviously we spoke about the charity that we're involved on. And essentially that's not even government funded or anything like that. What would you like to see done at a community level and at a national level in terms of mental health in this country?
Well, for me, just if you could speak to everybody, you just say, look, get out of your mind and into your community. Now, whatever that is, whether you're into rowing, you name it, tiddlywinks, badminton, chess, get out there. There's clubs for everybody, and then you meet new people, and like it'd be uncomfortable. Just what do you actually like, and actually go out and where's local to me that's where I can actually benefit from that. You go around picking up rubbish, and Bray tidy towns, Greystone tidy towns, they do phenomenal work, and not even picking up rubbish.
Do you think that we've lost the community aspect a little bit?
Definitely, yeah, and I think COVID was huge, and that it brought an awful lot of people together. And now since post-COVID, it's done both. It's mentally eroded people, and the funding's not there, and it's just crazy. Like it's just an awful lot of people feel lost, and everything's on the rise now, whether it be addiction, mental health, suicide, and there's no stop to it. Like it's spiraling, and it's really scary for everybody. Like,
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about obviously long distance running, because that's something that obviously is a big part of your life as well. When did you start doing that, and how important has that been for you?
Yeah, it's been huge. So my friend Owen Fox, he was into running, and then I got out. So when he packed into football, the two of us just got to a stage where we stopped playing football. Kids came along, and then I went through a really bad patch mentally myself, and then we just done a couple of events, and then I said, imagine we ran every county in Ireland, and then lo and behold, ran every county in Ireland, ran marathons, ran loads of stuff, and it's been good. And some of it's been for charity as well, which has been great. And it's like, because it's you against you, which is kind of in life as well. Same with running, you're just, your thoughts, your brain's telling you to stop, but you keep going, and that's a metaphor for life, really. That's really how I look at it.
Do you think the challenging yourself to do that and building confidence, do you think that's helped with encouraging you to take on the challenge of running for a local election?
Definitely, yeah, 100%. Because people are like, I said back at the start, it's people are saying like, you should do it, and like people are saying what I can give, but like when you're looking at yourself, you're like, I'm just a normal fella. And then it's like when people are actually building you up a little bit, and it's like, I actually, like, you never pat yourself on the back really, and an awful lot of us, we spiral down with our thoughts. We never actually lift ourselves up and it's go, I'll give it a bash. And I gave it a bash and I got in, which is great. And it was 12 people ran in Bray East, and I was one of the 4, thank God, to get in, which has been great.
So what advice would you have then for any young men in the town who might be struggling with their mental health now at the moment?
Let's go back to just what I said to you a second ago. Get out of your mind and into your community, whatever that is, whatever your community is, whether it be football, even if you haven't played football in 20 years, come Astro, just reach out. There's lads out there, there's always people looking for sport, looking for whatever. That's why sports for me is huge. Like you could be a steward at a boxing event. Everybody needs volunteers. Like there's so much out there. You could go into the gym and lift the lightest weights ever and just be there for the chats and the mingle. And get like, and even if you have an injury, get out there and just get involved in any sport, everything. Just everything out there, it's available.
So do you think we have a duty as a community, as a town, to try and reach out and get more people involved in these community aspect things like sport?
Definitely, yeah. Like everyone, as I said just there, like everyone's looking for volunteers. Everything. There's always events on. The fun fair, you could just wear a high-vis vest, directing traffic, and you're giving back to society, and it's great. And then you don't even have to. People, I think, like mental health and alcohol is huge, and I think people don't realise that they go hand in hand as a negative. Like you can enjoy your drink, but it can also deteriorate you as well. Like
have you seen that happen with a lot of people you know?
Yeah, like to get a bit personal, like my own father was an alcoholic. He's a functional alcoholic, and he's a great man. He was a really good man, and then when he gave up the job, he spiraled. He was drinking a bottle of whiskey a day, and he was out of hand. Like whereas before he was just going for a couple of pints, grand, not a bother. And now now you see it everywhere. People have just given up hope and they're just drinking.
Do you think that's a big contribution to it? The fact that people feel hopeless, don't have a purpose, and obviously alcoholism attaches itself to that as well.
Definitely, yeah. Like if people actually realised who great they are, they'd actually have something to live for. But I think nowadays it's like there's so many. It's so accessible these days to get drink, to get drugs, to gamble online 24/7. It just deteriorates people, and it can go hidden for a long time, and people just think, he's grand and he look grand, but realistically on the inside he's not. He needs help, and people need to actually just reach out. And there's so many helplines out there, whether it be the Samaritans, Pay the House, the charity we're setting up, and even like friends want you to come to them, and like you don't even have to talk about your mental health. Just go for a meet up, go for a walk, go for a tea, whatever, and it's the little things, and it keeps you alive. Like at the end of the day, like people don't realise like they're killing themselves. Like that's horrible, man. Like a friend of mine, Davey, he committed suicide. Nicest fella you meet, into the gym and all, liked his points, football. Nice fella, he'd stop and chat. Everyone out walking the dog every day, and it's like he's gone. And I couldn't believe it. Like and it hurts. Like I'm filling up a little bit now, but like that's why I'm getting involved with the charity with yourself. It's like I never hear young people who are into sport and they're doing the same. I'm like, it's scary, man. It has to stop. Like it does. It does. It really does.
Do you think that like towns like Bray that might not be funded as well as other towns in the country? We have lots of pubs, we have lots of bookies, but like you said, there's lots of businesses going out of business, and again, the opportunities probably there's more chance of people going into a pub or a bookies than there is probably a sports club.
Or a gym,
Or a gym.
Yeah, which is wrong in this day and age, because it's so accessible, as I'm going back to. like, fair enough, right, we've underfunded, underdeveloped or whatever, but yet there's still an awful lot out there. And like that with running or walking, like anybody can do that. Like you can walk anywhere, or just even meet up for a friend. Like people, I think, were doing that in COVID because it was uncertain times. Yeah. And I think now more so than ever, people are still uncertain, but realistic is like, appreciate life, get out there and do stuff. And there's some, like, you can get into anything now, yoga, Pilates, and like you'd be mocked years ago, whereas men, like, they go getting tans and all now, and it's accepted, like, so you can actually be who you want to be, realistically.
Do you think that we're more open to having vulnerable conversations now as men?
I think so, but I don't think men do. Like, it's very hard to open up and engage because there's a stigma to mental health, and then with, like, just through history, it's always been a case of like, oh, I'm not talking about emotions. And I've done it myself. I bought an awful lot of things.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you next. I was going to say, have you always found it easy to, open up about these things? Or
no, not always, no, but I am now. I 100% now.
Why? What do you think's changed in that time?
Like I said to you, it's like just growing up in environment like housing estate and stuff, and then just you're always tense, fight or flight kind of thing. Yeah. And then it's like, as you get older and have kids yourself, and you realise, going, like, geez, life's actually okay, and it's good to talk, and it is. And then, like, people that hear my story, and then they go, like, well, I've actually gone through a really bad breakup as well, or I know a fella that's struggling with his marriage, and like a cousin of mine, he went through we're all shocked his marriage broke down, and we took him in, myself and my mum. He lived with us for a year, and like, he needed that, and like, whereas he could have easily just went down another road and start getting into drink and drugs or whatever, and wasted his life, and now he's turned his life around again. So it's never over, like, so, and that's why people with mental health, like, it's never over. Just reach out and get out there, because people do want to help you.
Where do you think your passion or value to be part of the community and be an integral part of the community has come from?
From living in it and seeing, like, the good and the bad. Yeah. So it's like, there's so much good. Like, the best people you meet is in housing estate. Like, my best friends are all from Fassaro. My phone there, I could ring anybody if I needed a lift or needed a hand, and they'd be there in a heartbeat to help you. And that's the way it is, and that's the way old school society, communities was. It was like you had your neighbours back, and like that's what we still have in Fassaro, and it's great. And Wolf Town, Old Court, Deer Park, it's everywhere. It's rampant, and then that feeds into the community of Bray itself, because geez, the people of Bray are good people, and it stems from, like, your nanny being a good person, my grandmother, and that's what we've learned from as well. Good people around us.
What kind of Bray, what kind of town do you want your kids to grow up in?
Safe, friendly. They can just engage, just enjoy the things I enjoyed growing up. New people had your back, and just it was a good place to be. Seaside, whatever, Brayhead, everything. Good place to be. That's me,
So what last words would you have for anyone who wants to, let's say, reach out, any concerns that they have for you in terms of their community, in terms of the town? Like, can they contact you regularly? Is there anywhere that they can email you? How do they reach out for contact?
Yeah, so the email is wicklowcoco.ie, and my phone number is 089 408 5038. You can link that to whatever you want. That's my own personal phone number. Neither day, just send me a message, and I'll try my best to get back to you as quick as I can, because I do know people need to be heard at the end of the day, and I need to be, and I can point people in the right direction. Sometimes I can't always, unfortunately. Housing's a massive one, unfortunately, and like, I've had 2 stories that actually break your heart, like, it bring you to tears kind of, and I wouldn't be a teary man, but it's just hearing the stories are really upsetting, like, and it's crazy, but like, people need to know, like, there is help out there for them, and people want to help them, and that's what I'm here to do.
Do you think that a lot of people feel like they're not being listened to?
Yeah, because just like the lists for everything is so high now, like housing, waiting lists for hospital, and then it's like, and then everything's a domino effect, and that's why at the end of the day it all spoils back to mental health, and that's why people are struggling, because they're probably scared, and then people are probably too fearful to reach out because they don't want to be embarrassed or whatever, but at the end of the day they need to reach out, because your family and friends need you in their life. 100%, like, and your community needs you, seriously. Like, it's like, to me, suicide shouldn't be happening. It should be just sorted, or being in the process of being sorted, and it's not, and it's destroying families left, right and centre, which is scary.
Ian, really appreciate your time today. We'll have this up on YouTube, we'll have it on Spotify, and we'll clip it up for people to be able to hear as well.
Yeah, appreciate your time, Carl. Fair play to you. I'd like to see what you're doing and keep it going.
Thanks for watching. If you like that episode and you want to see more content like this, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you on the next one.